Executive order directing U.S. withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement again. Donald Trump signed several executive orders while attending his inauguration parade on Monday. He began signing executive orders and presidential actions on stage at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. as thousands of supporters cheered, melding the theatrics of his campaign rallies with the formal powers of the presidency. He froze the issuing of new regulations, asserted his control over the federal workforce and withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement. Trump signed an executive order Monday directing the United States to again withdraw from the landmark Paris Climate Agreement, dealing a blow to worldwide efforts to combat global warming and once again distancing the U.S. from its closest allies. Trump's action, hours after he was sworn into a second term, echoed his directive in 2017, when he announced that the U.S. would abandon the Global Paris Accord. The pact is aimed at limiting long-term global warming to 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit above pre-industrial levels or, failing that, keeping temperatures at least well below 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit above pre-industrial levels. Trump also signed a letter to the United Nations indicating his intention to withdraw from the 2015 agreement, which allows nations to provide targets to cut their own emissions of greenhouse gases from the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas. Those targets are supposed to become more stringent over time, with countries facing a February 2025 deadline for new individual plans. The outgoing Biden administration last month offered a plan to cut U.S. greenhouse gas emissions by more than 60% by 2035. Trump's order says the Paris Accord is among a number of international agreements that don't reflect U.S. values and steer American taxpayer dollars to countries that do not require, or merit, financial assistance in the interests of the American people. Instead of joining a global agreement, the United States' successful track record of advancing both economic and environmental objectives should be a model for other countries, Trump said. Lawrence Tobiana, CEO of the European Climate Foundation and a key architect of the Paris Accord, called the planned U.S. withdrawal unfortunate but said action to slow climate change is stronger than any single country's politics and policies. The global context for Trump's action is very different to 2017, Tobiana said Monday, adding that there is unstoppable economic momentum behind the global transition, which the U.S. has gained from and led but now risks forfeiting. The International Energy Agency expects the global market for key clean energy technologies to triple to more than $2 trillion by 2035, she said. The impacts of the climate crisis are also worsening. The terrible wildfires in Los Angeles are the latest reminder that Americans, like everyone else, are affected by worsening climate change. Tobiana said, the withdrawal process from the Paris Accord takes 1 year. Trump's previous withdrawal took effect the day after the 2020 presidential election, which he lost to Biden.